Yes, yes, people, you know what time it is. It's reaction time again. You all enjoyed my reaction to Saeed's rant after United lost to Copenhagen. Big Steve, our good friend Big Steve, has now got his hands on Saeed on the Big Six's Manc Talk. A great show, Steve and Saeed Weekly. I want to see what Big Steve has to say. So Editor Joe here on the channel has compressed the Manc Talk show down into about 10.5 minutes for me. The best bits, and we're going to see how it went. So Steve, even just look at the freeze frame right now, people. Steve smiling, Saeed not sure what's coming up. I know this is going to be a good one. I know it's going to be a good one. Let's have it.
What's going on, people? Welcome back to the Manc Talk, episode 12. Oh, sorry, 13, should I say. My head's gone. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Welcome to the Steve Therapy Manc Talk. Steve, I've come in to book an appointment.
Yeah, take a seat in the waiting room. Take a seat in the waiting room. I'll be with you in a minute. Just need to talk to the chat. It's episode unlucky 13. Can I get in the chat? Rooney, 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 Rooney. There's only one Rooney around these days.
You know what, people? There is nobody better at trolling the Man United fans than Big Steve. There isn't. I could try as hard as I want. Any other City content creators could try as hard as they want. There's no one does it better than Big Steve. He's the best because he's been through it. You know what I'm saying? Like, Saeed calls this weekly now just therapy for him for Man United. Whereas Steve, if there was content back in the day, if YouTube was a thing back in the day when he was going to Main Road, he would have been getting the therapy. You know what I'm saying? Or this show wouldn't even exist because City would have been too far behind. But yeah, man, Steve's the king at this. Let's see what he has to say about Rooney. I'm not sure I picked up on this. Is there a player called Rooney for Copenhagen? I think
there's only one Rooney around these days. The young 17-year-old Rooney who torn it up last night.
Yes,
got the winner for Copenhagen.
Yes.
As somebody just told me, Manchester United could not cope in Hagen last night.
Ooh.
Do you know what I mean? Every week it seems like I'm on here trying to comfort you and that. I don't know why, because if the shoe was on the other foot, we all know that the Somalian, Boris Johnson, would be giving me bare shit on here. So I don't think I should go easy on
Boris Johnson, you know.
Old Trafford is falling down. Man City's had a training session. Newcastle's had a training session. Copenhagen let you go 2-0 up because they felt sorry for you, but then in the end decided, you know, we need to come back. And, you know, Garnacho's running off to the fans, giving it all this.
Yeah, what was that about, man? That little shit Garnacho. You know that? I actually rate him as a footballer. I think he's got a pretty high ceiling. I don't know if he's in the right place for it now, but that was pure cheek. That was pure cheek from Garnacho, man, shushing the Copenhagen fans. Like, you relax yourself. You're not him. You're not him, mate.
On his knees, crying. There's not a lot going for you around there, man. That kid that came on, that Rooney kid, I seen something about him weeks and weeks ago, but to be fair, you could tell the kid had something about him. You know what I mean? He's decent. I think someone's going to go and get him. You know what I mean? His movement, his cockiness. The commentator even said that the kid's turned around and said he wants to be the best player in the world. So you got to respect it. Do you know what I mean? Scoring against Man United don't make you the best player in the world. That's just standard shit now. But
puts it on the map, though. Puts it on the map. You know what I mean?
Mate, it was just. I just look at the team. The defending, man. Varane.
Red card?
Well, listen. The way you've got to look at it is this: you can, if you've played football, you know what he was trying to do. He's trying to shield the ball, right? But
shield the ball.
But in the letter of the law, he's caught him bad on the ankle. If he broke his leg, no one's saying anything about it. Sometimes in football, you see a player go for a tackle. He doesn't mean it, but he goes over the ball and catches a player in the shins and goes off. At the end of the day, they slowed it down. When you slow that down on VAR, it looks bad.
I agree. You know, I think, you know, maybe 15, 20 years ago, it probably wouldn't be a red card. But as Steve says, by the letter of the law, it is a red card. The one Rashford got sent off for. Like, in a contact sport, the reality is, you know, when you're going in for crunch and tackles or you're going in for 50-50s, there's always a possibility that you're going to get your angle wrong or your timing wrong or you place your foot in the wrong place. And whilst I do feel a bit bad for Rashford because there's no intent for him to do what he ended up doing, it's just the way it goes, especially at that speed. So just got to hold that, mate.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like the replays, they're doing it too much. Like, these replays are killing it. Like, they make it slow, and they get angles in there, and they see the velocity of it. Like, come on, man. Like, stop this.
Your penalty, want a penalty. But Maguire headed the ball onto his own fingers and then onto the guy's arm. Watch it back. Maguire
Facts.
heads the
Oh
ball
my
down.
God.
Listen.
Facts.
As Paul Scholes after the game, he said, I didn't see that angle, watch. I seen it in the game and I put it out there on it and said it wasn't even a pen, ass traps. He heads it onto his own fingers, onto the guy's hand. So if we want to be nitpicky about shit, you know.
What about the red card for them? What about the elbow on Hojlund?
You know what,
elbow.
Saeed's just trying, like, Steve has an answer for all these things. You know what I mean? Steve is a calculated guy. He knows his football. He knows what he's at. Saeed, everything he's asking Steve about here, that Steve's shutting down. Saeed's going, okay, what about this one? What about this one? He's just trying to get something. It's that guy who's like, I'm leaving here with something. You know what I mean? I'm leaving here with something. He's desperate.
Mate, that wasn't no elbow. That was a pussy wound, mate.
He's
listen,
nearly killed him out, man. Are you mad?
Arguing, right? The Danish Neil Mopai turns up every week when you get
out of here, man.
You get beat every time he's scored. You've lost. You bring on Amrabat at half time. What did he do? Nothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now is the time we need to call out Varane.
Yes.
I am not having Varane. You fell in the trap to sign a big name player. He has done zero since he came to Manchester. Zero. And the fact that
difficult conversations on Raphael Varane, if you ask me, people. I think Real Madrid have had Man United's pants pulled down a couple times in the last few years. Both Varane and Casemiro. Real Madrid do not sell players unless the player is on the descent. You know what I mean? Unless Real Madrid feel they're probably not going to give us much longer at the highest level. So they gave Man United Varane. Steve's absolutely spot on. He's done sweet fuck all since he arrived to Manchester. They've given United Casemiro. Decent season last season, even though he missed about 10 games through suspension. He still played decent when he was there. But this season, he's nothing like the Casemiro at Real Madrid. Real Madrid knew Casemiro was on his way down. And United have fallen for it. Two big signings. And Varane last night, he didn't want to be there. I've seen what he was looking like coming on the pitch.
they would rather start with Johnny Evans and Maguire than Raphael Varane. Shows you the level that
They've had a
Varane
falling
is
out.
Facts.
They've had a falling out. They've had a falling out.
Look at him last
100%.
night.
They've had a falling out.
Look at him last night. It's a blessing in disguise that you go out of this competition, because if you get Real Madrid or fucking Man City or somewhere down the line in that competition, you're getting absolutely flattened, mate, over two legs. It could be ridiculous.
That's the truth.
Ridiculous.
That's the truth.
You know, look at it. Brentford at home. McTominay late, papers over the cracks.
Yeah, we have been paper over cracks, yeah.
Fulham at weekend, awful. Last minute goal, papers over the cracks. Copenhagen at home, penalty last minute, saved it, papers over the cracks. You've not played well. You've lost 9 of 17. You could have lost to Wolves early in the first season. There's a lot of games there where, and I look at the squad, I don't see it getting better.
We've conceded 30 goals this season. 30 goals this
30
season.
goals.
We've conceded, I think, 3 or more goals in however many X games. You know what's mad about yesterday is that you can go down to 10 men, but you've got a 2-0 lead. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand, like, the capitulation. It don't make sense. Like, I've seen teams that have gone down to 10 men. Did they go and lose 4-3? I'm sorry, man. It's the...
I swear we went down to 10 men against Copenhagen last year, and we drew 1 each. It was last year, wasn't it? Yeah, it was last year. We played Copenhagen away. Sergio Gomez was sent off, and we ended up getting a draw out of it. That's it. Will Steve mention that?
way we capitulate.
We went down to 10 men in Copenhagen.
Ding, 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 ding.
Concede 1 goal. You went down to 10 men after you went down after 42.
When was this?
Conceded 4. Last time we played them, we went down to 10 men there. We didn't concede. You conceded 4. You know, when they were waiting for that red card decision, he just stood there in his coat looking like this. I said to me, Dad, I watched it with my dad, and I went, look at that Ten Hag. He ain't got a clue what's going on. The players are all around the referee. He wasn't even getting in the referee's face. He wasn't even trying to say anything. He just stood there taking it on the chin. And if you're saying what you're saying, he's fell out with Varane, how many more players does he need to fall out with? So he's fell out with Ronaldo. He fell out with Sancho. He's fell out with Varane. You know, who else? He's brought in these players that aren't good enough. Antony's of the world, Malacia of the world. People like that ain't good enough.
I'll tell you now for a fact, people, that dressing room is not Ten Hag's. Ten Hag does not own that dressing room. Every manager of any good team, they should own their dressing room. They should be the king of their dressing room, that when they walk in, people go quiet. Ten Hag, you just know the writing is on the wall. that Ten Hag doesn't own his dressing room. The amount of players he falls out with, Players he tried to get rid of during the summer that he couldn't get rid of, and they're still there. McTominay, Maguire, now starting week to week for Manchester United. Falling out with Ronaldo, as Steve says. Now Varane and Sancho having his lunch in the car park because he's banned from the training ground. Like, it's that Ten Hag has lost his dressing room. It's out. It's so clear to see.
You know, Reguilons. I've said this week, so people think, oh, Big Steve's trolling. I'm not trolling. I'm looking at an elite team in Man United that I've always grew up knowing there was an elite team, and you've got substandard players playing for you now. And the manager, everybody thought he was going to bring this Ajax passing game
Nah, no
to the
chance.
Premier League.
No chance.
And it's not happening. So, I mean, I hope he wins a couple more games, just keeps ticking along like that and keeps you there, because for as long as he's there, it's banter time for us. You said the other week he's got to go. Who would you get in, though? You've got to have an answer to it. If you think he's got to go, you've got to have an answer. I've seen people were saying to me, oh, we want Solskjaer back. I'm like, are you joking?
Who said that? Who said that?
Someone just said it in the chat about a minute ago, we want Solskjaer back.
Nah, someone saying Solskjaer back is a troll. But before Saeed answers to say who exactly he wants to manage Manchester United, I don't know if he even has anybody. I don't think anybody's going to want that job. It's a poison chalice. What good manager, either at the top of their game right now, wants to go there and risk their reputation? What up-and-coming manager wants to go there and risk damaging their rise, their come-up? Ah, man, I want to see who he says.
That might be that's a troll, mate. Listen. No. Let's not do this. Let's not do this now.
Ollie at the wheel.
You know what I mean? Let's not do this.
At the wheel.
Sorry?
Ollie at the wheel. If Bruno's your captain, instead of whining and crying and whinging and falling on the floor and running over to refs, every time the referee gives his decision against United, he runs to the referee. He thinks being the captain is being moaning at the referee. It's not. It's leading by example. He's got to come out and unite the club. I feel sorry for the fans that went out to Copenhagen. I feel sorry for the fans that are going, spending the hard-earned money. I don't even think... You don't mind if you go and spend the dough and you put a performance in, you get beat. You can handle that because you think, fair enough, you tried. But last night, Copenhagen, as soon as they got that first goal, the tails were up. And I thought, they might win this, you know. They just carried on and carried on. They didn't give up, man.
Traps is saying you hate Hojlund. I don't know what it is, man. You just need to leave him alone, man. He's a kid. You know what I'm saying? And
nah, listen, what it is I've said from day one that the kid's a good player. But what happened was everyone jumped all over me when you signed him and told me this kid's better than Haaland. This kid's
the Danish Danny Welbeck. Where do I start with the Danish Danny Welbeck? He is another example of United overgassing players way too soon. The amount of pressure that fan base puts on their incoming players from the moment they walk through the door, it's unnecessary. It's really unnecessary. I was hearing Hojlund versus Haaland. I was hearing Hojlund's going to do this, Hojlund's going to do that. I get it. He actually is a good player, Hojlund, and in our team he'd probably thrive. But he's not being managed properly. He's playing with he's not getting a lot of service, and he's been overhyped in general. Like, they needed a goal last night, he was taken off. They needed goals in other games, he was taken off. He was taken off in the Manchester derby when maybe it was 2-0 down and Old Trafford started booing. Tell you, man, Hojlund, you made a mistake, brother.
Coming to the Premier League to destroy the Premier League.
Nobody's better than Haaland.
You said Erling Haaland needed to watch out. You
no,
said that.
Saeed! Oh, please, I'm begging when I press spacebar again, he's going to refute that and say, no, I didn't. I'm begging you said you didn't say that, Saeed. That Haaland needs to watch his back because of Hojlund. Please, brother. I'm gonna give you one chance here.
I said there's a new Scandinavian kid in town. That's what I said.
Why are you bigging him up then? If don't even compare him.
Why should I big him up? Why should I big him up?
Because
what are you talking about?
One of them's broke the Premier League record and one can't score in the Premier League. That's why you shouldn't compare them to each other.
Yeah, because obviously you've got a team that creates chances for someone. It's not my fault that my team can't create chances. I didn't know Ten Hag's going to play this time.
Hey, on the Big Six show, the actual Big Six show, Saeed was the same person saying to me, oh, Haaland this, Haaland's not as good as people think, Haaland this, Haaland that, why isn't he scoring goals, why isn't he smashing it? And when I said he's not getting any service, it was, no, we don't want to hear it. Now Hojlund's not getting any service, and all of a sudden, let's all fucking feel sorry for Erasmus Hojlund. Consistency.
Because when Erling didn't score in 2 games, everyone was saying, oh, Erling's finished and the tapping merchant and that. But this guy's got a pass in the Premier League, 8 games, whatever it is, and no one's getting on his case. I'm just getting on his case saying, Don't be coming to Manchester talking the talk when you can't walk the walk, mate.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
Don't be doing it, because if City signed a player for 80 million and he didn't score in 8 games in the Premier League, you lot would be all over us like a rash.
He knows
because
it.
He's plays well,
course.
and because nobody finds him, we're all supposed to like feel sorry for him. I don't think so. I don't think
No, I
so.
didn't say
Play
feel
for
sorry
Man
for him.
United, mate.
Didn't say
Steve,
that.
my
Keep
guy,
going down the
man.
drain.
We're on the same
Start pulling
page.
your finger out in the Premier League and scoring goals. Nobody's feeling sorry for you, mate. That's all I'm saying. Keep the same energy up, innit? Jeremy Doku, man. What a player.
Yeah.
That is
look,
why you
man.
buy a player. That is what you buy a player to come to the Premier League and do. Not fucking skate through games. Grab the ball, buy the fucking bollocks, and go for it. And that's what Jeremy's done. He's had Jack Grealish in front of him, 100 million, and he thought, you know what? I'm taking your shirt, mate. I'm taking it.
True.
Yeah.
And
It's true.
And listen, we were outstanding. You know what I mean? He got 1 goal, 4 assists. Unbelievable. If someone said something like, I seen a stat, Jeremy Doku, 7 assists in fucking 2 games. Marcus Rashford, 7 assists in 3 years. There's a difference in class in left wingers, mate. You know what I mean?
Is that true, people?
Man. It's the truth.
Is that true?
But,
Mate,
no, man,
Listen,
it's good.
that is so bad, man.
So Rashford
But
on 7
the fact
assists
that
in
he's
3
got
years.
more goals in our whole front line is ridiculous and whatnot. Like, it's just absolutely ridiculous. I like Jeremy Doku, and I'm not gonna do this comparisons with Grealish and what. I just want to focus on Jack with Doku. I don't know if you see this interview the other day on when he used to play for Rennes. He goes, I just want to just annihilate defenders. I just want to just make sure they hate me and whatnot. Like, I just found that crazy because this guy's a menace, man. Right foot, left foot. You know what I mean? Right wing, left wing. He can do both sides. You know, like
I'm hearing
man?
I'm hearing stories on the training ground where, mate, he's making some of our defenders turn into pretzels, mate.
I believe it. That's the end of the video, but I believe it. Jeremy Doku. It's good to hear some City talk at the end, but listen, what a show, man. The Manc talk, what a show. I think Steve told Said what's what in that one, but big up Said every time as well. I enjoy the show. I watch it every single week, and if you guys enjoy this reaction, I'll react to it every week. We'll do this again on a week-to-week basis. So let me know in the comments if you enjoyed it. Leave your thoughts down below in the comments, and go and show love to Steve, Said, and of course the Big Six Show too. Smash a like and subscribe if you're new around here, and I'll see you all in a bit. Enjoy the rest of your evenings.